Yeah, good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen first. Online, is it visible? My screen, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine, great. So, without wasting the time, last class, what we have seen, the features, right? The features we have seen, and what are these features? First is what? Simple. What makes Python simple? What makes Python simple? Three factors, technical factor. What are they? Python has rich set of APIs, right? What is API? Collection of, don't say blunders. API, application programming interface. Is it the definition of API? So don't say the blunders. What is API? Collection of modules, right? What is module? Collection of functions, variables, and classes, right? Forget about what is function, forget about what is variable, forget about what is class. Just remember, as of now, we are seeing just the basic, right? So forget about what these are. Just remember the term. An API is collection of module, and a module is a collection of functions, variable, and classes, right? Cla- what are the modules we have? For an example, math module. It will help you to calculate some basic mathematics, right? C math. We do not need to write longer code, right? We do not need to write any longer code. With the help of this C math or any kind of module, we can use the features of that particular thing. Got it? Then again, random it is. Random is also kind of a module. Okay, let me show you one example. And these are just basic. Don't get tensed by seeing these things. Okay, these are just basics. If you see this, what I have to do is I'm importing random, right? I'm importing random. Here random is what? Module. Module is what? So might be there collection classes is also there, variable is also there, and function is also there, right? Inside this random. So how we can use this random module? Simple, what we can do? You know OTP? OTP, you know? What does it do? Verification code, temporary code it is giving. It could be 4 digit or 6 digit, right? So how we can make that? What is the procedure? Simple, what I have to do is I'll write password here. Or let's suppose I'm taking A is equals to, I am taking random. Random is a module, right? But here I am using random dot rand int. Okay, this is one of the function of, let's suppose 0000 to 9999. Print of A. What it is giving? What it is giving? Again I am printing. Print of A. I am printing A. What it is giving? Just wait for us. Rand int. Random dot rand int. Now again I am taking B is equals to random dot rand int of 0000 to 9999. Now print B. What it is giving? Random value it is giving, right? From the random module, we are getting out or we are retrieving some features of randint. What does it do? Randint. It is giving the random value, integer value. Okay, some range. I am giving range to 0000 to 9999. In between, whatever the value, it will pick up randomly. Right here, it is picking up 7917. Here, what it is picking? 8365. Let me show you one more example with Jupyter. Okay, because these terms mostly we are using in data science, right? Whenever we are working with data science or machine learning, mostly we are using with that random int, numpy module, pandas module, right? These are what third party APIs. Fine. Just give me- Fine. Let's suppose I am, don't get tensed by seeing this. Okay, these are just environment for running Python code. These are just environment. Same programming I'm writing here because that is a import random. Done. Here, if it is coming 1, then execution done, right? Again, I am writing print, or let's suppose a is equals to random dot rand int of rand int of 0000 to 9999. It is coming, right? Now I'll go for print of or simple a. What it is giving, right? Now same thing, I'll copy this, or let's suppose I'll use random dot random. Mm, now you see what it is giving. Again, I am taking this, right? Or let's suppose you just keep it like this. Every time, if you see, every time it is changing the value. Every time what it is doing? Changing the value. Simple for this also, rand int also. I'll go for the same example, 9999. Now you see, first time what it is giving. Now what it is giving. Now what it is giving. Can we make OTP from this? Random 4 digit. Or let's suppose I am giving 2 more digit. Again, if I'm printing this, what it is giving? Random 6 values it is giving. Can we make OTP for this? Simple it is. So see, with the help of just random module, we are trying to get OTP kind of programming. We are trying to write what? OTP kind of programming. And don't get tensed because see, these are just, I am showing what Python can do with single line of code, with 2 line of code, what Python can do. Now, if I show you the Java OTP program, Java OTP program. Now you see how many line of code you have to create. This many line of code you have to write. Getting my point? That's why it is what? A rich set of API module, right? We can reuse our means we do not need to write it again. We can reuse our program. We can reuse our code, right? That's why it is saying what? Module is a collection of functions, variable, and classes wherever it is required. Wherever if we want to use CMath, wherever we want to use calendar, We do not need to write a longer code for creating a calendar or creating a random values. What we have to use? The modules, right? That's why Python makes this language, these things make Python what? Simple, right? Next, garbage collector. What is garbage collector without seeing this? Tell me, what is garbage collector? Huh? It collects unused memory, right? That is nothing but the garbage collector. Next is what? Freeware and open source. If we download freely, right? That is nothing but freeware. Open source is what? Any other person or any other organization can also use the source of particular thing. Okay, source of Python. Got it? That is nothing but you can use that. Just wait. Okay. You also can turn. Is it coming? Right, coming, right? You sit there. Acha, tell me who are they facing the problem with English? All are comfortable with English, right? See, if you think like I'll go with Telugu only, that won't work in industries, right? In industries, they won't ask you, they won't take interviews in Telugu or in any regional language. Even I know Hindi, right? But I cannot speak to interviewer in Hindi, right? It is must to know English, at least to communicate with someone. Got it? So meanwhile, what we'll do is we'll communicate. Okay? You guys also communicate with me. Online students also communicate with me so that you'll get motivated with that. Okay? You'll get used to of it. Fine. Open source. Now, open source is nothing but some of Python distribution are. Here, distribution means what? Some of the programming language also being used in Python, like JPython, used to run Java based application, right? Iron used to run C sharp or .NET application. So likewise, we have lots of things which can be used to create an application with the help of Python and one more language. Got it? This is nothing but the open source. Platform independent, everyone knows. That is freely moving to one platform to another platform. Platform is nothing but operating system, right? Let's do it. Yeah. Any doubt, online students? Online, any doubt? Guys, I need response. Fine. Here, dynamically typed. What does it mean? First of all, we have two terms, static typed language and dynamically typed language. Static typed means example C, C++, Java, .NET. Here we have to declare what? We must have to declare data type. Dynamically typed means no need to declare any kind of data type, right? See, simple. Now, interpreted programming language. What does it mean? Yesterday we have seen interpreted programming language. What does it do actually? When we develop any Python program, we must give some file name with extension. What is the extension name? .py, right? We have seen yesterday, right? Now I'll show you one great pictorial representation so that you'll get an idea. Now you see here, simple. First, what we have to write? We have to write the code, right? And whatever we are writing, whatever the user is writing, not user, whatever the programmer is writing, That is nothing but source code, right? Next, second term is called Python compiler. What Python compiler do? It compiles. What does it mean? Checking the errors or checking the codes, right? So first we have to write the code, then it will come to what? Python compiler. Here my compilation process is started. And also in any other languages like C programming, there is also one there is also compiler, right? C programming, Java, C++, everyone has their own compiler, right? But what is the meaning of Python compiler here? In Python, we have Python compiler which will read the code line by line, right? Here, process is getting done with line by line of checking. Means it is checking line by line of code, right? For the error. After that, once it get completed, it will go to where? Intermediate code. Means it will convert those source code into what? Bytecode. So two things are there. First, compilation process means Python compiler do what? First, first of all, it will read the codes line by line, right? And again, after reading the code, line by line only, it will convert that source code into what? Bytecode. Line by line, right? Not at a time. In any traditional language, it does the same. What? At a time. It is reading the reading the code at a time, right? Here in this case, it is reading line by line of code, right? So line by line of code, after this, it is giving to what? Intermediate code. That is nothing but bytecode. And if you see, it is now exe.pyc, means compilation process. Here compilation process done. After coming to intermediate code, now my source code became what? Bytecode. That is nothing but zeros and ones. Only who can understand this? System, right? Machine. So this code only can be understandable by machine. After this, see, this all is what? Interpretation based programming language, right? This whole process is nothing but interpretation programming language, right? Here also, if you see bytecode, after reading the bytecode, intermediate code, it will give this bytecode to whom? Python virtual machine, right? And what is the purpose of Python virtual machine? Reads line by line of code, right? And convert it into machine understandable code, that is nothing but binary code. And after that, it will give it to processor and OS, that will finally gives the result. Simple process it is. But what if any outsider comes and if I ask that what is interpretation process? Now you got the idea, right? What is interpretation process? What does it do? What does it do? Interpretation process. Converts the source code into byte code, but line by line. You should also mention what? Line by line, right? Because Python does what? PVM does what? Line by line, right? It executes the process line by line. Got it? So this is what? The pictorial representation of what? Interpretation process. If you see, first we have to write the source code, then it goes to compiler, Python compiler. Checks the error, then it comes to byte code, intermediate code, right? It converts source code into byte code. Who is converting this source code into byte code? Who is converting source code into byte code? Compiler, right? Here compiler is there. So who is converting source code into bytecode? That is nothing but compiler. Compiler is converting this source code into bytecode and giving it to intermediate code. That is why exe.pyc, if you see here, exe.pyc. right? After this, where we are giving this to PVM. PVM does what? Reads line by line of code, okay, and give it to processor or operating system. Then we'll get the result. Got it? Simple it is? Fine. So if you see in compilation process, the Python code submitted to Python compiler, it reads the source code, checks for the error by verifying syntaxes, and if no error found, then Python compiler convert into called what? Bytecode with an extension what? If error found in source code, then error display on the console. It won't go to PVM. Got it? In execution process, the PVM reads the Python intermediate code, bytecode which is, right? And line by line convert it into machine understandable code. That is nothing but what? Binary code. And it is read by OS and processor finally gives the result. This is the whole process what Python interpretation does. Got it? Simple it is. Any doubt? Online? Great. Good, Navya. Fine. So what is the definition of PVM? PVM is one program whose role is to read line by line of bytecode. Convert this into what? That is nothing but, got it? Now if someone asks you what is PVM, mostly people used to say like Python is interpreted programming language. It executes the program, right? So C programming is also doing the same. Okay. C shell. One term is there called C shell. Okay. For C programming, one term is there called C shell. In this place, we have PVM, right? In this case, we have PVM. Who is doing, whose role is what? To read the code line by line, right? Yeah. But in C programming, what we have? Something called C shell. It reads whole program at a time, right? So both has some differences. Python interpretation means it reads the line by line of code, and compilation means C programming compilation means at a time it will read whole program and it will give error according to that. Got it? Fine. Next. Next is what? Hmm. What it is? Next you see high level programming. Simple it is. High level. High level programming language. What does it mean? Often you have heard that program, some program is low level programming, some programming is high level, some is mid level programming, right? Intermediary, right? So Python is high level programming. What does it mean? I'll give you one simple example. Okay. I'll give you one simple example. Just give me a moment. Here only. Let's suppose I have one variable a is equals to 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 0, right? Let's suppose these are my values. One more variable I am taking b is equals to 0 0 0 0 and again 1 1 1 1 0 0 0, right? Here what I am asking is I want a multiplication, A multiply B. Can you do this? Can you do this? Are you able to do this? But I want the exact answer. Are you able to convert this binary into decimal and this binary into decimal and then give me the answer? Are you able to give me the answer? So, if you see, first of all, any other programming language, right? Any other programming language, any other programming language like C programming, okay? C is what? Low level programming. Why it is called low level program? Whatever we are writing, whatever the code we are writing, it is converting that code into zeros and one, zeros and ones. What is zeros and one? Binary. It is converting that code into what? Binary code, right? But what high level programming of Python do, right? So first of all, we have two types of languages, right? One is what? Low level, low level, low level programming language. And second one is what? High level, right? So what is this low level programming language? I'll give you one example, simple example I'll give. Okay. First of all, we'll see what is high level programming, low level, sorry. Fine. What is low level? So in this, in these programming language, in these programming language, we represent, we represent the data in lower level data. We represent the data in lower level, right? What is lower level? Zeros and ones, binary, right? And we can say like binary, binary. Okay. We can also consider octal. You know octal, right? We can also consider hexadecimal. I hope you guys are aware of this. What is binary? What is octal? What is hexadecimal? If no, no need to worry. I'll go through that also. Okay. We are going to see lots of things. Okay. Lots of basic. No need to worry about this. Hexadecimal. Okay. And and this type, this type is not understandable. Understandable by whom? By human being. Okay. By us. We cannot understand, right? If I write 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0, can you say the decimal value of that quickly? No. You have to take a copy and notebook and a pen. Then you have to calculate it by hand, right? Verbally, you cannot say quickly. Got it? So let's suppose I'm giving one example. What it is? It is representing what? Low level. That is nothing but binary, octal, hexadecimal, or anything. Okay. Let's suppose I am giving one example. A is equals to 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 like this. And I am telling you to convert this. You cannot convert this, right? If I am giving you A is equals to uh, 0 O 24, Can you able to convert this octal number into decimal? You have to take pen and pencil for this. And any other low level programming language also. We have to write, we have to perform some operation to convert this into decimal, right? But by default in Python, Python is what kind of language? High level language. Whatever we are writing, that can be converted into decimal value. Okay. If I'm writing, let's suppose a is equals to, if I'm writing 0 x f a c e, can you tell me the answer of this? Are you able to tell me are you able to tell me this, the output for this? No, because you are working as an low level programming language. Fine. Now let's come to high level programming language. Now we'll see what is high level programming language. High level. What does it mean? It can be easily, the number systems can be easily converted into what? Decimal. How? I'll show you. First of all, we'll write this. Okay. In this programming language, in this programming language, even if we write, even we represent the data, represent the data in lower level language. Okay. Like binary or octal or hexadecimal, right? Or hexadecimal, automatically, or it can be able to convert, or it can be able to understand what we are writing, right? So what we can write? Automatically convert into decimal, you can say, because we are talking about number system, right? How? Let me show you. Simple example. Let's suppose I am writing a is equals to 0 b 10101010101010. Fine. Now you, if I am asking you convert this, if I am asking to low level language that convert this code, already it is what? Low level. Now simple, what I can do? What I can do? If I am writing print of a, now you see what is the value? 87381. What we have done here? Did I write any code to convert this? What I have written here? 0b. I have indicated that this value, this whole value belongs to what? Binary. This 0b will indicates what? Binary, right? So what it is? If I am writing this many code, then I am just giving one acknowledgement that these values belongs to what? Binary. That's why I am writing here what? 0, 0, spell it out, 0, b, right? And after this, did I write any code to convert this into decimal? No. That's why Python is what? It knows that what to convert and into what, right? If I am writing a is equals to, simple I am writing 0, oh, let's suppose 23. What I am giving? Octal. 0 O means what? Octal. A. What it is giving? Did I write any code to convert this octal into decimal? No. But still we are getting what? The values. Means what? Implicitly, Python knows everything, right? Because Python is what kind of language? High level language. It can be able to convert the binary into decimal, octal into decimal, or hexadecimal into decimal. For hexa, I'll tell you. 0x, 0x, FACE. What it is? FACE. Let me tell you one thing first. For binary, what is the base of binary? Base of binary, it is 2. Base of octal, 8. Base of hexadecimal, that is nothing but 16, right? But when I say 16, we can understand that base is 2 means 0 and 1. Base is 8 means it is from 0 to 7, right? Now, if I talk about hexadecimal, it is what? 0 to 15. But also, it is not taking all the numeric value. From 0 to 9, it is taking that numeric value. From 10th onward, 10th value onward, from 10 to 15, it is taking what? Alphabets. 10 belongs to what? A. You guys are amazing. A. B belongs to what? 11. C. 12. 15. F. Right? So last value is what? F. Right? Fine. Last value is F. Now, I'll try to execute this. If you execute this, what I am getting? Did I write any code? No. I've just given the acknowledgement that this whole thing belongs to hexadecimal. FACE means F belongs to what? 15, A, 10, C, E. And what we are converting? We are converting hexadecimal into what? Decimal. By default, any value we are writing, that is nothing but what value? Decimal value, right? By default, it is what? Decimal value. Got it? That's why Python can be able, or Python is what kind of language? High level language, which can be able to convert low level language into what? High level language. We can also write it can be able to convert low level language into what? High level language. Got it? Now, if somebody asks you, what is high level language? What is high level language? Example is what? Example? Python. Okay, fine. Chalo. Next. Next is what? Next is what? Robust. This is really important. This is why Python is known as robust language. Robust is nothing but strong. Why Python is known for its strongness or robustness? So I'll tell you. First of all, that is seventh one, right? Robust. Also known for strong. But why Python is known as robust language? First of all, okay, Python Python provide one thing. Python provide one thing that is nothing but exception handling. Have you heard about this? Exception handling. What does it mean? Those who are from CS background, online students, please, I want response. Exception handling. What does it mean? If you know, you can tell me. Don't know? No worries. I'll tell you. You know? Don't. What about you? No. Fine. Online. Anyone? Fine. First of all, Python. Python is one of the robust language because of Python provide something called exception handling, right? Python provide exception handling. Fine. Exception handling. Let's suppose I am giving you one scenario. You are a layman, right? You don't know anything about programming. Got it? And I have created one application which is nothing but to fill a form, right? To fill a form. Now, in place of age, in place of, and also you don't know English. You don't know how to read English. You don't know even what is the word of English, right? Chalo. So, in place of age, continuously you are giving gender. In place of age, continuously you are writing gender. So, what should it give? What kind of error? User friendly error it should give. What does it mean? Let's suppose, fine. Let's suppose in an ATM, I'll give one simple example. Okay. In an ATM, here it is, the ATM, right? ATM. And in this ATM, you enter the ATM, right? You enter the ATM, and here you are writing, you are entering or you are inserting your ATM card, ATM card from the back side. Will it work? Will it work? Will it work or not? This is ATM, right? Not ATR. ATM. Just forgive me for mistakes of this spelling and all, right? Chalo. This is ATM, and if you are inserting from the back side, what it should give? What it should give? If it is giving any programming terms, right? You are getting exception error. Okay, you are getting any exception error, and as a layman, you are not able to understand that. What would you do? Simply, you will get out of that ATM and you will go home, right? Because you are not able to understand what the message was. Are you getting my point? So, for showing a message, it is really mandatory for a programmer to show a user-friendly messages. Let's come to that form application example, right? You are entering wrong input. You are continuously entering in place of age. You are entering what? Gender. What should it show? It should show you are entering you are inserting wrong input. You have to insert what? Age. You are entering what? Gender or wrong input. That is what a user can understand that. User can easily understand that what mistake I am making. Got it? So what it does? Exception handling. What it does? First of all, what is exception handling? What is the purpose of exception handling? Then first we'll see what is exception handling. Exception. Exception handling. Exception handling. What it is? It is nothing but a runtime error, you can say. Okay? Not handling, it is exception. T runtime error. What does it mean? Runtime error. While running the code or while using particular application, while filling that form, you are making mistake. While inserting the card inside the ATM, you are making mistake. See, application already there, they have installed, right? Software they have already created. But while running that software, we are making what? Mistake. We are making what? Errors. Right? That is nothing but what? Runtime error. While running the particular application, we are doing what? Mistakes. Got it? That is nothing but an exception. Okay? Runtime error. While running the program, we are making mistakes. And what is exception? What is exception? First of all exception, all exception by default gi- gives technical error messages, right? Error messages, right? Fine. Technical error messages. By default, it is giving. So what we have to do? What is exception handling? That is nothing but to convert this technical error message into what? User-friendly error message. What we are doing in exception? You forget about what we are seeing. You just see what is the concept we are seeing. Why Python is robust? What makes Python robust? That is nothing but the term called exception handling. At the runtime, whenever we are making any mistake, that is nothing but an exception we are doing. Error, runtime error we are making, right? And to handle that exception, that is nothing but the term called exception handling. And the purpose of exception handling is nothing but to convert technical error message into what? User friendly error message. Now you got the idea. What is exception? What is exception handling? Online student, do you have any question? Who is this 272045? Nice name you have. Harika. And this Ranveer, Charan, Manju, Navya, Pravalika, Suraj, Tarun, Sukirti, Sojan, Vamsi. You guys are not there, it seems like.
No doubt, sir. No doubt, sir.
Fine. Only few responses. Means rest of the guys kept the session on recording and left. Seems like that only. Fine. Not an issue. Great. So exception handling. Then now we'll see what is exception handling. Exception handling. What does it mean? The purpose. The purpose of exception handling is is to convert, spell it out, spell it out, convert technical error message into what? User friendly error message. Got it? To convert technical error message into what? User friendly error message. So if someone asks you what is exception handling, no need to say that exception handling to handle the exception, right? That is a blunder. Most of the people says what? Exception handling is nothing but to handle the exception. What exception? Error. What error? I don't know. Okay. So exception is what? Exception is what? Runtime error. What is runtime error? While running the program, if we are making any mistake, that is nothing but runtime error. What is exception handling? Okay. Exception handling is nothing but to handle the exception. What kind of exception? Runtime exception. What is the purpose of exception? To convert technical error message into user friendly error message. Got it? Fine. Next example we can see. For example, uh, let's suppose in an ATM, a ATM, right? Hmm. In an ATM, what? Inserting, inserting card from the back side, right? Next, what you can say? And or inserting invalid pin. If you are inserting invalid pin, that is also one of the exception, right? And if it is showing any technical error message, we are not able to understand that, right? So for that, what we have to do, we have to convert that technical error message into what? User friendly error message. Got it? Means you are inserting wrong pin. Next, what you can say? Uh-huh. Insufficient or invalid amount. Invalid amount. That is also one of the example. Got it? What is exception? Runtime. Exception handling. Exception handling is to handle the runtime error. The purpose of exception handling is what? Converting. Got it? Simple it is. Now let me show you in programming how we can see this. Right? Here only I'll show you. Not here. This is scripting. So let me open this. Here you see. Okay, fine. This is Jupyter. Okay, I'm using Jupyter notebook. But initial days, we are going to see only the batch mode. Batch mode is nothing but where we can write only single line of code. Okay. Initial days, we'll go with this. Next, we'll go for PyCharm or Jupyter. Anyone we can use, right? So this is just an example I'm giving you. For an example, I'm taking age equals to 11, right? Age equals to 11. I'm using b is equals to 0. What I'm using? B is equals to 0 means A value is storing 10, 11. B's value is storing what? 0. And I am trying to divide divide B. A by B. What should be the answer? Tell me. I'll store it in one variable. Print of C. What should be the answer? What kind of error? If it is giving error, then what kind of error? Runtime error. What type of error? That is also one thing. If it is showing error, what type of error it is? Now you see, if we run this, what it is showing? Zero division error. That is the error name. That is the name of the error, right? And what it is showing? Division by zero. That is not possible. What we are doing? We are making mistake while running the program. We are making mistake while running the program. If you see, we have written 11, we have written 0. And we cannot divide any value with 0. That's why it is giving what? Zero division error. Division by 0, not allowed. Got it? What we can do here? I'm giving just simple example. No need to worry what we are writing here. What is the program it is? No need to worry. How it works, I'm showing you. How the exception handling does the work, or how it handles the exception, right? Here, what exception we are getting? Zero division error. That is a runtime exception, right? While running the program, we are getting this error. Now, how we can handle this? We'll write one thing called try, and we'll keep this whole code inside this. Okay. And also we'll write except. Inside except, we'll write zero division error. We are giving acknowledgement to the PVM, or to, with the help of this except block of code, that the error here we are getting is what? Zero division error, right? And how we can convert now the technical error message? What it is? Technical error message. This is what? If a layman is coming, he is not able to understand this. Why? Because it is a technical error message. Only technical person can be able to understand what the zero division error is. Got it? So what we have to do? We are writing here, please do not use, sorry, inside double quote we have to write, right? Because this is a string. I'll tell you what it is. Please do not use zero as got it. If I execute this, what it is showing? Now it won't show any error. It is showing what? User friendly error message. That is nothing but please do not use. Got an idea? Okay. Chalo. That is nothing but exception handling. So what makes Python robust? Exception handling. So if someone asks you what is robustness, what makes Python robust, don't say that it has lots of things. It has lots of stuff. That's why it is making Python robust. Or don't say like daily it is going to gym. Okay, it is not like that. What makes Python robust? Exception handling. Great. Fine. Online students, are you able to understand this? Fine. Fine. Now, one important thing I'm going to tell you. One important thing I'm going to tell you. First of all, in in real time, in real time application development, to develop any project, okay, to develop any project, we have to choose certain programming. Okay, we have to choose what? We have to choose certain programming language. Certain programming language. They are, in this case, we are going to use what? Python, right? And Python is a robust language, right? Programming language. Then using that programming language, we develop, compile, compile, and run or execute during execute the program, execute the program. And during runtime, if we are getting any kind of error, that is nothing but exception handling, right? During runtime, if any error occurs, that is nothing but that is exception, or we can say runtime error. Runtime error. Okay. Now, first of all, we are going to get lots of error. Three types of error we have mostly, right? One is compile time error. Okay. One is what? Compile time error. While compiling the program, if any error is coming, that is nothing but compile time error. Second is runtime error. Okay. The third one is logical error. If we are having any, if we are writing any mistake over logics, okay, if we are writing any illogical thing in our program, that is nothing but that occurs logical error. Got it? So we get various various type of errors. What are they? First, what it is? Compile time error. Compile time error. Second, runtime error. Runtime error. Third one, logical error. Got it? Simple it is. Compiled error means while compiling, means compilation process does what? Checking for errors. So if any error is coming, that is nothing but compile time error. What is runtime error? During the execution process, if any error is coming, that is nothing but runtime error. Logical error. Logical mistakes. If we are giving any illogical things, then it will give what? Logical errors. Got it? Simple. Next is what? Sorry. Extensible and embedded. Okay, sorry. Eighth one. Okay, fine. One more thing I'll tell you. Eighth one. Eighth one is nothing but both Python is both procedural and procedural also we can also call it as functional. Functional. Okay, functional or and object oriented. Object oriented. Have you heard about these terms? Object oriented language. Right? But I'll tell you one thing. C programming. It is a procedural programming language. Sorry. C programming. It is what? Procedural programming language. Python, both. Java, object oriented. Right? So now what we are seeing is Python is both functional as well as what? Oops. Oops. We are calling it as OOPS language. Object oriented programming. Got it? Now, Python has both type of thing, both the functionality they have, procedural also, as well as object oriented, right? C programming is what? Total based on what? Totally based on functions, functions, right? Python, sorry, Java, it is what? Object oriented. Python, both, right? Both. But let me tell you one thing. If I start teaching you these things, procedural and object oriented now, you will not, you are not going to understand anything about what is function, what is object. If I say function is nothing but function, the purpose of function is nothing but to reuse the code reusability. What is function? Function is nothing but the sub program of a main program. Are you able to understand? No. For that, we have to see practical implementation, right? For that, to know what is function, to know what is oops, we have to know, we have to see the practical implementation of that, right? So for now, for time being, we are not going to see this. Okay. For now, we are not going to see this because this is something, if I tell you now, if I teach you now, you are not going to understand any concept of what is function, what is object oriented. Okay. So I'm leaving this, but you also should know about this is one of the feature of Python. Okay. This is one of the feature of Python. See this function, if I see, because it has both procedural and if I say it belongs to core Python. It belongs to what? Core Python. And if I say this belongs to advanced Python, advanced Python, right? So to start with this core Python, before that we should know about what is Python and what are the stuffs we have in Python. What are the variable? What is variable? What is identifier? What is literal? What is literal? Tell me. Do you know what is literal? I guess so. He has taught you about this variables and all. Shiva sir, did he teach you about this? Literal. Variable, you know? What does it mean? Variable. What is the purpose of variable? Stores?
Store temporary value, sir.
Store temporary value. Right. It stores the temporary value. But one more thing is there. Time is up, right? Okay, fine. So let me complete this. Variable is nothing but the purpose of variable is to store the value inside the main memory. Okay, inside the main memory. Integer. If I'm using a is equals to 10, what type of variable it is storing? Integer type of literal it is storing. 10 is nothing but the literal. Tomorrow we'll see data representation, right? So far so good. We have seen these things. Okay. We have seen the features. We have seen the simple freeware platform, dynamically typed, interpreted, high level, robust, and no, we haven't seen this. We'll start this. Soon we'll start this. Procedural, then object oriented. Because these are something advanced topic. object oriented. It is an advanced topic. This comes under core Python, but it is also, we should see some practical implementation. How does it work actually, right? Theoretical, I can say, and you also can remember the theoretical thing, right? But the thing is, we have to know about the practical implementation of this. Got it? Extensible, embedded, and support third-party API. Tomorrow I'll complete this as well as the data representation. Got it? So if you have any doubt, you can ask me online, offline, both. Time is up. We have to go. That should be it. Tomorrow we will be seeing. Tomorrow we'll be seeing what? First three, last three features and data representation. Whenever anyone is asking you what is A is equals to 20, what is A here? Variable, also known as
Variable,
identifier.
sir.
Variable, yeah, also known as identifier. But why? Why we are calling it as identifier? Do you know about this? Why we are calling it as identifier? Do you know? No, right? That is a blunder. Variable. Why we are calling it as a variable? Because it is storing value. No, it is a blunder. 20. What it is? 20 is what? Online. 20 is what?
Value.
Integers.
Integer value. Blunder. Value. Again, everyone is saying value, value, value. Integer is 20 is nothing but integer kind of literal. Okay. If I am writing, say, let me tell you, I'm writing A to B. What it is showing? Invalid decimal literal. What I am making, where I am making mistake. If you see, it is showing where I am making mistake. 2B. I cannot write it like this. 2B it is. Right? What it is showing? Invalid decimal literal. So what this 20 is? Literal. What kind of literal? Decimal literal. Or you can say integer literal. Got it? Fine. Okay. Good to go now. Uh, that would be it. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Fine. Nice session. Nice audience. Okay. Any doubt you have from online students? Do you have any doubt? Or shall we start the class? Offline, you just wait, huh? Online students, do you have any doubt? No doubt. Thank you. Fine. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. And if you have any queries, you can ping to that number. I have given that, right? Fine. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.